Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Football Dugout. Yeah, you just saw us just on Neeks Sports, the same place. We ain't gone anywhere. We're here to do a match review on the England game. I'm here with Carl and Neeks, as some of you have known already. How you doing, guys?
Hot,
very hot.
Yeah, it's very hot in here. Like, this is
good. But I'm good.
This is one thing about in the studio. Now that you got, literally, when I'm in here by myself, when we're doing the dugout streams, it is boiling in here. Now you guys see it. That's why it's probably best to film in here in the winters, because it gets extremely hot in here. But we're not here to talk about that. We're going to talk about the England game. But before we go into that, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our socials. All the links will be in the description below. So let's go. So yeah, I'm just gonna say, make sure you look out for our roundup later today. We'll be going over the rest of the games that will follow the England game. That will be this evening around I think 11:30, depending on when Devo is around. Maybe Neeks will join us, Gav, and whoever else is available. But yeah, let's get into it. The England game, I know we were touching on it just a little bit just a moment ago, but does England top the group now?
Yeah, they got to top the group. As I said, like today, they haven't laid down a marker. They got a result. So all right, 3 points on the board, beat the other best team in the tournament. In the group, sorry. If now they fall back from here and draw with Scotland or Czech Republic or lose, then you can't take this result at all at any kind of serious level. But I would say, yeah, you expect them. I would say one to go with a bit more attacking lineup or kind of strategy in the next two games, and I'll be very surprised if Scotland or Czech Republic have anything for them. So I'd expect 9 points from 9 and top the group and go into the next round with confidence.
Yeah, no, I pretty much agree. And like the way it's panned out for them, they've had the most difficult game in the group. First, they've won it. They've won 1-0, kept a clean sheet. So you can look at it and you can say, okay, they've managed to manage and navigate a difficult fixture. Also, without their perfect 11, because there's still some players missing from the squad, i.e. Harry Maguire, who's still injured. A couple of players that didn't start. So I would say Gareth Southgate probably looked at it and said, it's not our perfect 11, but we've managed to navigate a victory here. And then now, as we've seen Italy and Belgium. They've had 3-0 victories against, the smaller sides. Now England need to go out and either match that or better that, and just say, you know what, we're on that level as well. We have to be taken seriously, because right now, if they go out, even if they get 9 points, but the fashion that they get the 9 points is 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, all very lackluster performances. No one's really got eyes on England. They need to win this 1-0, which they did. They've navigated a difficult game. Go out, beat Czech Republic 3-0, beat Scotland 3-0, and be like, okay, 7 goals in the 3 games. All right, England mean business. No goals conceded. They're here and they're serious. Because remember, with this win, and they're likely to top the group, they're playing Portugal, Germany, or France in the next round. So they have to show that we mean business.
Yeah.
You have to take us seriously. So, yeah, it's a good start, but it's definitely not the end.
So who would you say would be the hardest team that England could get? If, let's say, they top the group. Well, they should, really, in all honesty. They should top the group after this win now. Who would you say England wouldn't want to get? Would you say Portugal?
I think you'd have to say France.
Yeah.
However, I think they'll have an equally tough time against Portugal. The reason why I say that is that both of those teams, especially how they set up under the manager, are quite conservative. So England will have a hard time breaking them down. And then both of those teams have stellar attacks. So if England are gonna, say that England played like they did today against Croatia, where they sit back a bit, or they're not like gung ho flying forward. Who's got a better attack? Mount, Mount, Foden, Sterling, Kane, or Ronaldo, Bruno, João Felix, Jota or slash Bernardo Silva, or Mbappe, Benzema, Griezmann. Like they've got better attacks and more solid defenses. I think their best bet is to play Germany, who Germany will probably attack more. Germany probably attack more, which would then give England the opportunities to actually attack. I think that game will be more 50-50 for England, rather than if they were to play Portugal or France, you'd think 75% to those teams rather than England.
Okay, so what was I going to say now? So as it stands, like we said, England are going to top the group. They shouldn't have no issues against Scotland and
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. Oh golly, if they should not, they should easily top this group now. And like you said, they should go out and show their mean business now. There's a comment here from YUFC in the chat. He says, topping the group is the stupidest thing England can do. They should go for second. Now, Carl did mention and he did say, if you go for second, that's a loser's mentality. They're not gonna win anything that way. So, do you think England has any chance of even beating any of those teams, or do you think that they're just too good?
I think that they do. Because if you think about it, like logically, and you think about it from a mentality point of view, right? England top their group. They're the best in their group. We're better than everyone else in that group. Whoever they now go on to play, whether it's Portugal, France, or Germany, they weren't the best in their group. It means that either France, Portugal, or Germany, whoever it was that topped the group, was the best in that group. So, theoretically, you would say whoever finished second in that group is not considered favourites for the tournament because the team that topped the group would be more favourites because they're better than the other two teams that didn't top the group. So so now England are not playing the favourites. They're playing a team that is outside of the favourites. If you go in thinking, oh, tactically, boys, we want to finish second because it's an easier ride, you're going with a losing mentality, and it also fills the players with no confidence that we stand a chance in winning this tournament. We're only here to get as far as we possibly can. We're not here to win it. We're here to get as far as we possibly can and say, okay, we reached the semi-finals. Job well done, boys. Yeah. It was the same in the World Cup when Belgium topped their group. They were in the same group as Belgium. Belgium topped the group, and England finished second and got the easier ride. Yeah, and then they lost in the semi-final to Croatia, who isn't an outstanding team. And then they
lost to Belgium in the first playoffs. Lost both of them. Playoffs. You finished first, second. They both got to the semi-finals, and then you still lost in the first.
So they ended up finishing fourth, and Belgium finished third in the tournament. Yeah. And Belgium, they topped the group. They wanted to play Japan, 2-0 down, turned that around, and then they played Brazil, beat Brazil, and then lost in the semi-final to France, who were the potential winners. Yeah. So they got the harder side, but still progressed very far. Whereas if it was Belgium that finished second, they probably went all the way to the final, and give France a good run for their money. But England, like finishing second, does no benefits for the team. Not on the
in terms of winning the tournament.
Yeah, winning the tournament.
If your aim is there to let's go as far as we can. Then cool, finish second.
Unless you're Portugal, didn't they finish second?
Yeah, but it's the mentality. They finished third. They finished third even.
Third.
But did they go into those like we're just gonna try and finish third so we get the easier route to the tournament? And even then, I don't think it was that easy. They beat Spain in one of the knockouts. The other one obviously was Wales. I can't remember who was in the other game. I can't remember who it was now. I'll check that in a second, but. They beat Spain, and then obviously it was France in the final. So them finishing third was because they were rubbish in the group, rather than it was a planned assault towards the title. There's nothing like assault. It's all about the mentality. I agree. It's all about the mentality. You have to go there thinking, we've got a chance to win this tournament. And therefore, we expect to play the best teams at some point. Because I don't know, I can't remember there's that route, but you could avoid them in the quarters, and in the last 16. And then you have to play them in the quarters anyway. So it's just like, you got to play them. You have to play them. And if you beat one, when you come to the next one, you're like, well, we're even more confident of beat. Whereas if you go the easy way, by the time you actually play a strong team who maybe have actually had to beat better teams on the way, they're in a better mental state than you. They're like, what are we going to do now? They're like, we just beat that team already. We're going to do the same thing against you. So, England should just go for it. Play every game to win.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, it's better to come second. But at this point in time, it's just like it don't matter who you get, because right now you can even say Portugal maybe. We don't know what team we're gonna get. France could not turn up, like you guys say. The ball is round, anything can happen. Portugal might not turn up, so it doesn't even matter. Maybe Germany might be the team that we don't want to play.
Yeah,
because they might turn up. We're yet to see what those teams could offer because they haven't.
and with all this madness going on, like what's his name? Cancelo's out the tournament because of COVID. You could reach you play France in the next round, and Mbappe's out of the tournament. Could be suspension, could be injury, could be COVID, anything. Like you just have to win your games and see who you face in it. And whoever you face deserves to be in that place like you do. And whoever wins the game deserves to go through in there.
And it's just like
you can't focus on anyone else.
You have to. Yeah, it's all about you. So go back to the England game today. So it's the usual England. It's the usual England story. They look good for a bit, drop off a bit, and then normally they would then go on and concede. But today they managed to score. I know we spoke about this already, but the standout player, we would say man of the match. We would say it's Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips. What am I trying to say? What would we say about? What would you guys say on this? Do you think it's just a one-off? Do you think this guy is actually okay? Has he surprised you? Did you think, wow, he was actually going to play this good? Was it a shock? Was it a shock to you, basically?
I'm surprised he played this well. I know he's a good player. Presses well. He can pass, but he usually does it from a deeper position. In the Bielsa team, he plays in like a defensive midfield. But today, I think with Rice behind him, he kind of showed his ability to, even the goal that he assisted, it wasn't just a simple pass, like in the sense that he actually had to wriggle through a few challenges, and then it was a pass with his weaker foot down the inside channel. So he showed, with a defensive player behind him, he showed a bit more of what kind of the weapon, the armory that he had going forward, as opposed to just being the deep lying kind of playmaker and springing those balls. So, yeah, I mean, he surprised me in terms of how good he was, but I know he's a good player.
Kyle?
I mean, it was a good performance, and even like I said, it was man of the match performance. But I wouldn't say the performance surprised me. I think it was more to do with just how poor the other England players were. Like the fullbacks offered nothing going forward, and because the likes of Foden doesn't have the pace to penetrate, like he's not a runner. He's not going to play off the shoulder of the player. Like England needed help somewhere, and eventually, how did the goal that they scored? How did it come about? It came off from Raheem Sterling making a run in behind the defense, and Calvin Phillips found the pass. I mean, Mount didn't have a particularly spectacular game. I just think it was more to do with that Declan Rice did his job and said, you know what, I will hold it up as much as I can back here, and you can go forward as much as you can and assist with the players going forward, because it just all around, it was a lot of like 4s and 5s out of 10 in that England team.
Oh yeah,
like, there was a lot of like 5s out of 10. Like,
because even where was Kane?
Like even though we're giving Calvin like man match performance, I would say he was no higher than a 7.5.
Yeah,
no higher than a 7.5.
Yeah, because the game, if you look at it overall, the game was awful.
Yeah, the game was a 7.
Croatia was poor. England were not that great to even begin with. It's just that one moment that fell for them. For me, personally.
But I wouldn't say anything like, oh, it's a light bulb moment for Southgate. Like he's onto something here.
Oh, he's definitely.
Yeah. No.
Sancho is missing from the team. Grealish is missing from the team.
Gotta get Grealish into this team, man.
Have to. And as much as I want both Grealish and Sancho to play, just watching today, it won't work. It wouldn't work.
You need...
from the nature of how they both play.
Yeah.
It would just be. I mean, it may work against a Czech and a Scotland.
Yeah.
They're that bad.
Yeah.
Any team you field, you're gonna pick up the win. But against like a Croatia or any team better than a Croatia, or Portugal, or a Belgium,
you need to have different
work.
You need to have different weapons. You need to. That's why the Sterling or Rashford was so important. because of what they offer different to the more creative players. They're just more direct, getting behind, and you hope they can finish the chance. And to be fair, at the beginning, Sterling wasn't playing great. He was getting into positions like he does, but the final ball or the shot or whatever decision wasn't great. But he kept offering that threat, that directness. It was actually his direct run that created the first chance where Foden cut in and hit the post.
Yeah, it's maybe it's a Timo Werner situation.
But no, it's exactly that.
It's a Timo Werner.
Even when they're bang off form, the question is there anyone else in my squad who can offer that? When it comes to Chelsea, obviously in the season, no, there's no one else. Pulisic maybe, but he's always injured anyway. But who else can offer that? You'll say no one. But the difference is Chelsea can go out and buy someone who can offer that. Whereas Southgate is, you kind of just stuck with whoever's English. You ain't got much of a choice. For Germany, same thing. Who else in the Germany squad can offer what he offers in that way? And that's the Sterling and Rashford conundrum. Both of them are off form, but by taking them out of the squad, or both of them out of the squad, you actually change the whole way you're playing, because no one else is going to offer anything of the similar lot. So you kind of just have to play them and just hope for the best. You got to just hope that they're on form, literally. So yeah, vindicated the decision to play him in the end with the winning goal.
All right, and before we wrap up for today, Jadon Sancho, why wasn't he even on the bench? Is this signs that he is off dealing with his contracts with Manchester United?
I mean, I hope not, in the sense that it's an international tournament. Your hardest, biggest game in the group, and this is the you work all your career to go and represent your nation, and you're off. You can't be off doing a medical or signing a contract, something like that. You can't be. It doesn't make no sense to me.
Does that mean he puts club football over international?
Now, there might be,
and if so,
then he's got a problem. No, the other thing might be a case of is his mind. Southgate might say, you know what, your mind isn't where it needs to be in terms of focus on the game, and that's fair enough. It doesn't necessarily he means he's putting one before the other, but he just got a lot of things on his mind. But if he's actually off doing a medical, whatever, for me that's not even on him. That's on Southgate and the England management. You got to say, so you can do that tomorrow. Right now, we have got a game, and you're focused on the game. So because I don't know why he's out, but I hope no, there was no. We haven't heard about him being injured. No,
he's just not in the team. So could that mean that if we could take this, could he be on the way to Manchester United?
Who knows? Potentially. I mean, it could be anything, because I also heard, what was it, that Sancho had agreed personal terms. So if they've agreed personal terms, there's not really much for them to talk about. They're just waiting for the fee to be agreed between Borussia Dortmund and Manchester United. And the last I heard, they were about 10 or so million away from being on terms. So from my understanding, they haven't even accepted
an offer yet.
So it couldn't possibly be anything to do with Manchester United.
I think the only thing in terms of if his mindset is elsewhere, is that.
But we don't know what's going on behind.
It can't be tactical, because he had two goalkeepers on the bench. So you're not like, I'm going to need two of them. So because obviously there's no Maguire, we know he's got injury issues. No Chilwell, no Sancho. If Chilwell was in and there was only one goalkeeper, then you might say, all right, it's a tactical decision why he decided to leave Sancho. Maybe, but to have two goalkeepers, no Chilwell, no Sancho. There's
something definitely going on.
Maybe a bit of a knock. Maybe he has. Maybe.
But then it would have been reported. It always gets reported.
No, it might come out after. Something might come out after and say, "Oh yeah, it was just a little bit of a knock." I don't know. I can't answer the question. I think he's joining Man United anyway. I'm actually confident he's going to join Man United.
Yeah, I think he's joining Man United.
But
potential swoop deal from any other clubs.
Chelsea.
But I tell you what, Man United have to a top quality striker to make him work. We
have got a top quality striker. Edison Cavani. You forget he's still there?
Yeah, that can only play once every 2 weeks. Yeah, old decrepit guy.
But yeah, that was it. England beat Croatia 1-0, so they are top of the group as it stands, and they should end that way. But we will see. But once again, thank you all for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. check us out. Check us all our other videos out. We will be also live later where we'll cover the rest of the games that happened today. Thank you all, and we'll see you all very, very soon.
Peace.